Oh, not too low. Hey everybody, this is Johnny Beane. We're live 2:06 p.m. June 2nd, 2018.
Too low.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The echo starts.
Oh wow, there's some amazing echo.
It's okay. It's okay. It's just the video. It's the video's audio.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, we should have warned you about that.
Wow, there's some amazing.
It's okay. It's okay. It's just the video.
Oh, it says we're
Stop
live.
it. You got hit stop.
If everybody just stops talking, maybe it'll stop.
Hit stop.
Amazing.
That's a cool rhythm, though. I like that.
Is it stopped yet?
No, it's not. But I can talk over it for a minute because it's not super loud.
Oh, it is.
We got David Nesdahl.
Hi.
Charlie, you got to stop the video on the YouTube channel.
Is it me? I don't think it's me.
Charlie, you got to stop the video on the YouTube channel.
I don't have it on.
It might be in a browser.
Oh, hold on.
There might be another page where it's playing.
There we go. It was
Yeah.
me. I was messing it all up.
That's happened to me before too, man. I'm like, it's not me, guys. I don't have anything open. And then, yeah.
There we go. I didn't even know it was open. Brilliant. I'm really pleased that I was laughing at myself during that whole thing.
It's cool. It's cool. I've been learning a lot of computer synthesizer synthesis stuff, and that actually sounded like a lot of stuff that I've been into.
It had a rhythm to it.
You know, yeah, it had rhythm. It had cool sounds. You know,
Some
say
nice
we got
samples of your voice.
yep. We got David Nesdahl.
Hey.
in New York. We got Jay Hannon.
Hi, everybody.
Where are you at? South Carolina.
Pengo.
And Liquid Charlie.
Woo!
Hey, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Jeez.
with the rhythms.
Oh.
Man. Oh, yeah, okay. So we got a lot of people in the chat here. We got Mr. BHB. Is that Bruce? Bruce is in here. JJ's House of Jams. R2R3 Locky Nut. Absolute Mayhem. Jane B is in here. Good to see you again, Jane. She's over in the UK as well. Black Belt Yellow Belly. And Quentin James. A lot of people. So I don't know. What's new, you guys?
Nothing. I saw you how many hours ago, Johnny?
Oh, I feel like I'm still there, man. That was
Dude, I'm hurting, man. That alarm or my baby alarm clock went off, and I was like, no, please, no. And less than 5 hours of sleep, I think.
My God, how long were you guys on?
5 hours.
That's just crazy.
we had a long night last night. A lot of fun.
My goodness.
Hey, Carlos. Carlos is watching. Jared Frost isn't here. He says, "Hey, Charlie." You know Jared.
Hey, Jared. Yeah, no, he's been there. He came around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great guy.
Tone Talk isn't here. Mark.
Mark.
You know Mark.
Yeah. That's 2 people I know now. That's amazing. Jeez.
Yeah. Hey, Mark. Chris Link is in here. Nick Thompson is in here. Nick's a good guy as well.
Yep.
They are.
What, from Slipknot?
Oh, it's Mick. Yeah, Mick Thompson, right?
Is he here?
I don't know. I can't see. I haven't got my glasses on, so I can see the chat on my other screen, but I can't actually read it. So it's quite good.
Okay. So anybody, if you have any questions, comments for Charlie, highlight either Dave, Jay, or I, and we'll read it. So
yeah.
So I don't know what's new. Jay, I saw you yesterday. Dave, what have you been up to, man?
Not much. Just playing a lot of guitar. Well, actually, that is a lot. Playing a lot of guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
What are you playing?
Right now, I'm playing Adele.
Oh, nice.
Open G tuning with capo.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yep. A lot of Keith Richards type stuff.
Do you find it difficult adjusting to the different tuning? Because I've never ever got the hang of it. I can't understand what I'm doing.
2 fingers. All you need.
Right.
All you need.
That's what she said.
All you need. All you need. Yeah.
Hey, David Ennis. Yeah.
They're going out to see Pete Caruch tonight. His band is playing tonight. I don't know if you know who he is, Charles.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, his band Channel 29 is playing tonight around the corner from where I live. So,
oh, cool.
we go out.
What is it? Just a covers band? Or?
Yeah, it's a cover band. They do a lot of 80s and 90s. They do a lot of Van Halen, a lot of Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots, that type of stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So,
does he take his full EVH rig? Or?
I think he's taking a half stack. I don't think he takes the 3 cabinets and all that stuff. I don't think he can in this place. It's very small. So
right.
I think a 100-watt head and a 412 is too much, but that's what he's got. So.
Really? Wow. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about the guitar? Pictures. Go ahead. Sorry, Johnny. Go ahead.
Oh, I saw some pictures on Facebook of looks like Rob is over there.
Yeah. I'm going to see Rob tonight too because he'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Rob Johnson?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Or Ron Johnson, depending on
Rob Johnson.
what show you watch.
Bob Johnson.
Dwayne Rob Johnson. Sorry.
Cool. Well, hey, Absolute Mayhem. He's got a question for you. He says, Liquid Charlie, can you give us a hint? I think he means. Can you give us a hint on what the next video? You have any videos in the works?
No.
The first question.
There we go. It's a one-word answer.
Where's that strap?
No, we need to save that.
Oh, okay.
No, I was working on a tune in drop B tuning. My Wolfgang standard, the trans black one, is got like 56 to 10 on it, something gauge strings, I think. Mm-hmm. And so I'm doing some stuff with that, but I haven't finished writing the tune, so that'll probably be the next video. But I haven't had the chance to do anything lately, so I need to remember how to play as well. That will help. So yeah, I'm afraid that's not a very good answer to that question, as there is nothing exciting to report. But yeah,
eventually.
But there's always going to be more videos. So, and like half the time, like I'll come up with an idea. Like when I do the Van Halen style videos, they're just like a few hours putting it all together, writing it and all that, and it's done. So they're just spontaneous kind of things. So yeah, it could be any time really.
Sometimes
just not between 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So how do you shoot those videos? What do you?
It's actually really basic. So I use my phone, which is an iPhone 8, and a GoPro Hero Session 4, and that's it. And then I either do it myself, just with like a tripod, so I can set them up like either side of me or whatever, so you get the multi-angle thing. But if it's an outdoor thing, I generally have someone with me filming it. And then if it's just me, there's a thing on Final Cut Pro that I use to edit the videos where you can add like the handheld function. So when you put a zoom in, it looks like it's doing this and it's someone moving it, but it's not. It's completely, it's all fake. The whole thing is fake. I don't actually.
You're not even wearing a guitar. It's all fake.
No, it's fake. So So when I do the outdoor videos, which always seem a bit, they're more fun for me to do, but obviously I'm miming. And what I really enjoy is when people comment, "Oh my God, your guitar isn't even plugged in." Well, I was gonna take the contents of my room with me into this weird forest I'm in, but decided against it. So obviously I'm miming, but then I find, like, normally with those, the rhythm parts are pretty well completely set, so they're recorded, and I'll double track them as well, so I have to kind of know it inside out. So that's generally what I will play in the outdoor part. It's more the rhythm part, and if there is a set lead part, I can mime that then. But then I always cut back to, I'm sure you'll find an exception where I don't, but I'll cut back to the actual live take of the lead part. But a lot of the lead part is just is improvised most of the time, because I'm not really a planner. It just happens. But obviously the melodic parts I'll actually write, and I might harmonize it or whatever. But so those parts I can mime outdoors. But when it comes to a proper solo, yeah, I have to actually use the real take of it, because I can never match it. It's impossible. So it's all pretty random. But yeah, that's it. So then I edit it in Final Cut Pro, and that's it. Boom.
Well, your videos always look great. They always look great. And my question is, like, that mountainside that you play on, how far away is that from you? Like, where is that?
Not 5 or 6 miles.
That's got to be amazing to be able to play at that beautiful place and make videos right there. Even just to, like, enjoy a sunset over there, it's got to be.
Oh, but the weird thing is, like, for me, it's completely unappreciated, really, because I've always lived here. So we used to go, like, when I lived at home with my parents. We go for walks along there and all sorts. So it's just something I was brought up with. So I don't really see it as anything special, but it's actually, that is the White Cliffs. So, the White Cliffs of Dover, that's where I'm standing. You can actually, below me is the White Cliffs, sort of thing. So yeah, that's what that view is. It's from Dover.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You picked the right place to do videos.
That was good. That was all good. And then, when Gerd and I did this song called Mission Inferno, which was obviously a serious number, that was looking over Dover Harbour as well. So Gerd loves all that massive landscape thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's gorgeous. You gotta love it.
Yeah, it's nice. But the funny thing is that that's lovely. But if you go into Dover itself, it's an absolute hole. It's not. It's really unpleasant. I mean, yeah.
Kind of like LA.
I can't comment. Well, I could comment on that, but I really enjoyed it. So.
Well, New York City is the same thing. New York City.
Oh, right. Yeah. So, yeah, no, there's some good locations around here. But that one, I was really lucky with that, because it was going to be a Respect the Wind cover, that Natural Change one. But then it turned into just like an original thing, because I couldn't be bothered to learn the actual tune. So it was easier to do like something in the style of. And and we get there and it is actually windy, and there's long grass and everything, so you can actually see the wind. So it was quite cool.
Oh, that part of it wasn't faked.
No. Yeah, Gerd was there with.
There wasn't a Final Cut Pro thing option to like
no
trees.
Some of it is real. But
just the nature part.
Yeah, that's it. That's all that you're saying that's real. So I am a complete fraud. So
so that is a green screen behind you with all those guitars. I knew it, man.
I'm not even here.
I've made a great career being a fraud, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Dave's not even real.
No.
Yeah, background
part of me.
He's one of those Nez bots.
That's got to be the bot.
Nez bots.
That's got to be the name of the bot.
That's your band, Dave, isn't it? Dave and the Nez bots.
Nez bots.
That's right. Nez bots.
That's amazing. So yeah,
Dave Nesbot and the Nesbots.
oh, good.
So you want to talk about some of your axes there? Somebody, Nick Thompson was asking about your red Storm Shadow guitar, which I believe you're holding that, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. Let me just click this and it will come up. Yeah, here we go. So you want me to talk about it? You ready? This will go on for hours now. So
This is the heartbeat right here.
Yep.
yeah, here we go then.
Do it like an auctioneer.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can.
You wouldn't be able to understand them.
So, well, it's just, oh, Jesus. I don't even know what the body's made of. I think I know my stuff. So
Made out of wood.
it's got a body, right? And it's got a neck and a head. So it's red sparkle finish, which never ever shows up in the videos, but it shows up in some photos.
Oh yeah, I can see the sparkle.
There it is.
That's gorgeous. Yeah.
Oh, you can. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. And basically, he had the body already finished, and I built it up from there. So obviously, I went with maple neck because I'm a maple neck guy. I don't know whose influence that was.
Who knows?
So probably Zach Wilde. So anyway, I'll shut up now. So, Jesus Christ. Right. And then it's got an FU2 bridge, the FU tone Floyd Rose. Not Floyd Rose. Locking tremolo. Locking tremolo.
Yes.
Isn't tremolo a stupid word, the way it's spelled? Anyway, and it has all the stainless steel, detuner, titanium inserts, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the back, that business, you can see that, can you? I don't know.
Yep, I can see it.
Yeah, so just high tension springs, but only two of them, so it feels fairly normal, to be honest. And then a trem stopper, because the body had already been routed for a floating trem, but obviously I wanted a detuner on it. So yeah, the trem stopper, and then everything else is brass, as we say over here. Brass. So that's that, and then it's got an EVH Wolfgang pickup in it, because why change? And a Seymour Duncan hot rail in the neck, coil tap, which I can't pull up. There we go. And a three-way switch. It actually makes some really cool sounds that I haven't really heard before from a guitar, that kind of out of phase sort of sounds. But it's quite useful, and it really screams up here. Like if you play a note up here on a certain setting, it will really catch that note and scream. So that's that. And then it's I never remember which way round this is, but it's 5A Bird's Eye Maple one side and AAA the other side, but I don't know how that would be. I can't remember.
Well, I guess 5A would be the more bird's eye like.
So the front probably.
Well, yeah. I think that's probably 5A because that's got a lot of birds on it.
Yeah, that's a
little less. And you know what? I think you would want it that way because, bird's eye really is damaged wood. It's pretty, but it's damaged wood, so it's not always stable. So the less you want the less birds on the back of the neck as possible, but still looks very pretty.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, it's gorgeous. I couldn't believe in it when I got it, and that obviously carries on to the headstock. Yeah, and then it's got Spurzal tuners on it, which are black and chrome, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that does look cool.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? And then the ball ends at the other end.
Well, it goes along with the nut, the black with the.
Yeah, just it all matches pretty well, really, and that's it. I think.
So it's beautiful. So how do you like the Red Springs? Are you a fan of the Red Springs? Because They're really tough.
They are my attention. Yeah, it took me by surprise at first, but I just have to have them. The screws, not in this one. This one's set up really well. It's just normal to me. But I know when I got the Stealth, because that's got the red springs in the back, and that was really like, oh my god, I can hardly move it, kind of thing.
Right.
But I was able to kind of, you just unscrew the screws a bit and it sorts it out. It still keeps the right tension. So yeah, no, I've just kind of got used to that. It's
That's
not
cool.
as easy as the classic sort of Van Halen guitar setup where it's very easy to dive. But I try and avoid doing that stuff now anyway, because it's like it's a fallback, isn't it? It's like, right,
Yeah,
I don't know what to play to start this solo, so I'll do that.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of good to try and get out of that, I guess. But it's still, I'll use it more for subtle things where it doesn't involve a lot of tremolo bar action. So even if it is kind of tight, it will still, you can still get the desired effect. But yeah, no, it's cool. But I mean, all the guitars I've got are set up pretty much the same. It's all 9 to 42. Other than the standard, which I've got, detuned and that. But yeah, no, they're all basically the same guitar. So
I know. I don't know. I don't know why you'd want to have more than one of the same.
Well, it is funny though, isn't it? Like, how many Super Strats do you really need? Yeah,
Just one more
is the answer.
Just
Yeah.
one more.
So yeah, so there we go. I don't know what's happened to my view. I only have Dave now as my view.
Click on see his little window on the bottom.
Mm.
Click on it again, and it should go back to normal.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Right. Excellent. I must have clicked on someone by accident. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. I think I've FU toned about 9 or 10 of these guitars now. It's crazy, but I'm always this isn't a plug, but I am genuinely always surprised at how much difference it makes changing the block. Really,
you can plug Adam. We love Adam. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We talk about him a lot on here. Yep.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like, it gets me every time. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'll do that. Because it's always fun to make a video and trying to think of other ideas, to show it off. And it still gets me. It's like, oh. But I've got to be honest. Of all the EVH guitars, I really love the standard so much. Once it's been modded, it's such a great guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I like the flat top as well, and with that comfort cut, it's perfect for me. So not a big fan of the arch top thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, yeah, the comfort thing over here, that's really that's a plus. That's
it's really nice.
I wish they did that on every one of their guitars.
Yep.
Yeah,
that would be a great.
Definitely, it was. I just wish that the US EVH ones, they had more variety in the finishes, really. Like the flame tops, that would be amazing. But they don't.
We're okay. Dave left.
Dave's gone. He's had enough.
No, I'm here. I'm here. I have people talking to me from outside. My computer is right in front of a window that looks out to my backyard.
Oh, I see.
So, and there are people outside asking me what time it is.
Shut up!
I'm giving hand motions what time it is.
Did you give him the one finger? It's 1 o'clock.
No.
That's what time it is?
They're like, hey, you inside. What time is it in there?
Yeah, what are you doing on your computer?
It's like, hey, you in there, what are you looking at?
So yeah, different finishes on the EVH stuff. That would
don't you think? A bit more variety.
Hey, you know what I did see today on Facebook? There was a photo of a music store. I can't can't remember the name of the music store, but it had a whole row of brand new old stock Peavey Wolfgangs, but all the custom shop ones. It was killer looking.
Whoa, really?
Like a whole bunch of ones that you would never see. Like a one pickup, one bridge pickup with a Floyd with a beautiful maple top with a rosewood fretboard. Just a whole bunch of stuff that you like. Oh, or what? There was one with there was like a black burst one with a humbucker and 2 single coils and an ebony fretboard. Beautiful stuff. I was like, wow, I've never seen any of those before. Very cool.
That's cool. Really cool.
Now, if that could only be made again. If those could only be made again, that would be amazing.
It would be awesome. There is a definite. I've only got a PB Wolfgang. Is it special? The cheaper one that they released in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Is that Sunburst one up back there?
Yeah, that's it. And I absolutely love it.
That's a great guitar. That's a great guitar.
There's something more chunky about them, isn't there? You can, I don't know. They're less streamlined. The EVH are slightly more streamlined, and they've got the contours and the neck slightly thinner.
Well, I mean, there's definitely there's a warm place in my heart for the PV brand, for the PV version, but I mean, I love the new one. The EVH version is my favorite. But yeah, I think there's like in terms of the tone, and obviously this is in the lower end guitar range, but there's more clarity with the EVH ones. I was shocked when I got that first standard, the trans black one. I was shocked at how good it sounded. Like tonally, it was like, this is amazing. So I've been in love with it ever since. Really, it's my favorite. But cool. And I was really lucky with the finish as well, because a lot of them, I don't think they look as nice really. When the bubbly look gets bigger, and it's like, it doesn't quite look, I don't know, because mine's quite small and tight. So there we go. Yeah. You mean the flame? The flame? Flame? Yeah. I can get my other. Oh, you like the quilt you're talking about, like a quilt? Yeah, the quilt. That's the word. Because it's kind of bubbly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, because I got it like within a week of them coming out over here, anyway. But it's got a really nice finish. That's got a beautiful top on it. Yeah. Most of them don't have a tops that nice. I don't think they do. No. So I've never seen one I like as much as this one. So I was really lucky with that. And then this one, I've found that the saddles, because it has that gunmetal bridge, and it's a bit crap, isn't it? Like the metal that it's made out of. Mm-hmm. So the saddles, I upgraded the parts for FU tone stuff, and then within about 2 string changes, the saddles have gone, and it wouldn't lock anymore. It wouldn't grip. It's like threaded. So I got some black saddles to put on it because it's almost, for some reason, I'm dying. I don't know what's happening. Jesus. Anyway, for some reason, it's impossible to get like gunmetal saddles as replacements, or I couldn't find any. But yeah, anyway, I learned to love it like this. It looks quite cool with the black detuner and that. That's it. Pretty rocking. And then you can see in the back that I've got the screws fairly far out. Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe I haven't now. No, I haven't, because it's tuned differently. But I would have. They're like another 5 mil out from there, I'd say, in standard tuning. So, yeah, but I love it. It's great.
Now, as far as the Noiseless Springs, the second I got my first EVH guitar, well, I only have 2 of them, but whatever. I put the Noiseless Springs right on them. Didn't even mess around, put them right on. And Dave had mentioned try them without it, because I have an Ibanez guitars. I put underneath the plate in the back. I put a cloth to kind of dampen underneath the springs or whatever. Well, on the EVH guitars, I feel it's only 2 springs, and I felt after Dave suggested I try it without putting the original springs back on. And I A-B'd a couple times, and I felt like with the Noiseless Springs, it took a little oomph out of the tone, especially
Oh,
when you're
really?
like, you know, palm muting or something. I didn't know if you
No, I haven't done an A/B like that really, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it would though, in a way, because that it loses that resonance, doesn't it, that they produce?
there's a little bit, I guess, but maybe it's the fact that, you know, because those are full floating, and
Right.
since the EVH rests right on the body, maybe it takes a little more of the vibration out
Might do,
of
yeah.
this. But yeah, so I don't know. I just didn't know if you actually.
No, it's not something I've noticed. But, I mean, every time I've done it, just the overall difference is huge, you know. But I mean, I put that down to the brass block.
Oh yeah,
Most of all, because obviously it's the biggest part. But I guess everything plays its part. But yeah, no, I'm always shocked at. I mean, it really transformed this guitar. I thought this guitar was great, and then I changed it, and it was like, oh, it's really great, you know. And I'm totally in love with it. But
well, the inserts alone, they made. I couldn't believe the difference that the.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I've never heard anything individually, so it's always been the whole lot done at once. So that's the impact I get of it. But they do.
They do. It's
Charlie,
weird.
the next thing you should try on that guitar, when you have a chance, is those the original pots in that guitar?
No, I changed it. It's a low friction EVH.
Okay.
That went within about a year.
Right. I was going to say either try the low friction CTS or the low friction Borns, which is what you got in there. But
Borns, yeah.
they actually make a difference, and it makes a difference in sound as well.
Really?
The original pots that are in the standard, they're not that good. When you change the pots, like when I did it on my guitar, the guitar became alive. When I did it to my stand, became alive.
Yeah. No, I had to because it kind of went, and I thought I'd had like a low friction pot before, but I clearly hadn't, because like it's so effortless to do, isn't it? It just it's crazy, but you get used to it. So no, it's cool. But yeah, I only changed the volume. The tone is the same as it came. But the other thing I really like about it is actually that tone control. It actually gives you, if you roll it off, it actually gives you a really usable sound. It's not plugged in, but it sounds almost like a neck pickup.
Yeah. Yeah,
like really good, because normally when you roll the tone off on a guitar, it's like you'd never use the sound at all. But it's actually, I'd say, a usable sound. Not that I've used it, but maybe I will now, just to prove a point. But yeah,
you should.
No, it's cool. I love it. So yeah,
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. I actually do use the tone knobs.
Oh, you do?
A lot of times, just to get different sounds.
It really works. I think it's like really underused, and that. Yeah, I know when I got my Strat, because I'd never really owned a Strat before, and there's if you have it on the second position, so between the bridge and the middle, and then roll the first tone off, you get this amazing, it's an amazing tone, I think, like really nice and warm and thick, and yeah, it sounds great. But
I think the tone knobs, I think they sound better if you use them with single coil pickups, kind of like what you're just saying.
Definitely, yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I was shocked though with this, with the standard, how good it sounded with the tone rolled off. It's it's pretty cool, but. I just like, for everything I do, I always use the same sound pretty much. I'll go between either my drum machine, I've got the Boss DR880 drum machine, which has a guitar processor in it. So I've always used that for a lot of it. And then the Boss Katana, which is obviously Boss, so there's a fair similarity between the two sounds. And it all comes down to the guitar, really. I don't really use a clean sound. It's always just the volume rolled off. And I really like the idea that you're in complete control here. If you'd have a button that you could turn delay on and off with on your guitar, then yeah, you wouldn't need to do anything else. So
Oh, now you're on to something.
yeah, there we go. That's what we need, built-in delay.
Yep.
So
I actually have a guitar that has that.
that is
Sonics or
fantastic.
something.
Believe it or not, I've got an old guitar. It's from the 80s. It's actually it's an Explorer shaped guitar, and it has a bunch of buttons on it. One's delay, one's distortion, and one's chorus. One's maybe flanger.
This is amazing.
Like it's all built in.
Demo mode. There's one demo mode so you can pretend to play.
Yeah. One's Nesdal mode.
Nesbot mode.
Why, does it get you a cup of coffee when you need it?
Oh,
That's a cup of coffee, all right. Jesus. Oh man. So you want to? Michael Smith asks, and we were going to get into all this stuff too, but he said, "Can you ask Charlie what guitarist made him want to play guitar?"
Oh,
let's get back
it's
to.
not Eddie Van Halen.
There you
It's
go.
not. I got into guitar because in 1991, Bryan Adams released "Everything I Do It For You," as I'm sure everyone remembers.
Mm-hmm.
And it was at #1 for like 16 or 17 weeks, wasn't it? At least over here it was. I don't know about in the US, but so there was a video that went with that, and it was Keith Scott, his lead guitarist, who's amazing, I think. Like,
Yeah, he's one of my favorite.
He is incredible. Yeah, his solos are just...
He's still with Brian, by the way. Still
I
playing.
know. Yeah, I saw them. Was it last year? I don't know. Anyway, anyway, so that kind of got me into the guitar thing, and I had a tennis racket, so I used that, and that was it for a few years. And then I got he did that So Far So Good best of, and then there was a video that went with it, and there was Everything I Do on there, and he had a red and white maple neck Fender Strat, and there's like an ad-lib version at the end where it's got the extended bit at the end that goes on for about 20 minutes. And but that solo he does in that is amazing. And live, I was like, oh my god. And so yeah, he's the guy. And that's my first guitar was like a cheap Strat copy that was red, white, and whatever. That's the reason. So for the first 3 months, I just learnt Bryan Adams. That was it. So Summer of '69 was the first song I ever learnt. The first riff I ever learnt was, what's it called? I could probably attempt to play it. Hold on. It's U2.
Sunday Bloody Sunday?
Yeah, that's the one. Obviously, I'm a fan. So, no, I learned it from a guitar magazine. But so, yeah, it was Summer of '69, Run to You, those songs. I remember really struggling to try and learn them. Anyway, and then at school, my best friend, who'd been playing guitar since he was 8, so I was 15 at this point, he was into Van Halen, and he lent me Right Here, Right Now on video. And I thought, wow, this is a real noise. I hate it. Because I'd been listening to Bryan Adams and Roxette and Middle of the Road.
Yes, Roxette. Yes.
Yes. Great songs, though. That Look Sharp album, I'd been listening to that for about however many years, 10 years. Anyway, so, and obviously the first thing is Pound Cake after Mitchell Sinaway does his bit and falls off the screen. And it opens with a drill, and I was like, oh my God, that's really cool. But the music was really heavy for me, from what I had been listening to. And so, yeah, but I kind of just fell in love with it, really. And I just fell in love with the guitar playing more than the music itself to begin with. And then I got, in November of that year, there's a magazine called Guitar Techniques over here. And they did a 2-month column on A to Z of greatest riffs. And conveniently, it was V for Van Halen, both months. So I learnt Ain't Talking About Love, and I attempted to learn I'm the One and all of that stuff. So it kind of introduced me to their catalogue without me getting a load of their albums, if you see what I mean. And as I was saying to Johnny earlier, the first album I bought was 5150. And then it would have been Balance, I think, after that, because that was still pretty new then, so I was able to get the tins, you know, the singles that came in the tins, the gold tin, the blue tin, and the black tin.
Yeah, I had those too. Yeah.
Yeah, really cool. At the time, I was like, "Oh, this is amazing," and that was it. So then it was just all about learning Van Halen, and I mean, I could go on about influences for ages if you want, but I don't know. I just remember trying to copy, because I've never had guitar lessons or anything like that. I'm totally self-taught, but I was trying to copy like the hoarse neighs and the tapping, and I just remember thinking, how's he doing this? This must be some sort of trick in terms of how he's getting the sound, because I'd try and do a pinch harmonic and it would die. You know, when you get that half.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a whimper. And that's what it sounded like every time. So I was thinking, well, he must have a pedal or something in front of him that's boosting that tone to, you know, bring it out. And I also thought the same of tapping, because I wasn't tapping hard enough. So I just thought it was a bit of trickery, a bit like my videos, really. And anyway, so eventually I got the hang of it, and I got the Right Here, Right Now tab. And then I got an amp with reverb, because I thought that was the key to actually sounding good, was having reverb, because I hadn't had it before. And
talking about this?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
that's the one right there.
Yeah, that was the Bible. That and Passion and Warfare. Those were the two Bibles. So yeah, and then I remember, like, after I've been playing about 3 years, the truth is I've never been good at copying. I can't learn stuff note for note. That's why so much of what I do is improvise, or I'll pick the melody to play over the riffs, and, you know, learning everything, because I'm bored too quickly by it. I don't like that. And, you know, I'd like to take the essence of it, but then just do your own thing with it. That's more fun to me. And so anyway, I was writing and recording a lot of stuff even then, and I had like a Tascam 4-track thing, and I just remember thinking, well, I can do all this to a degree, you know, all this technical stuff, but my music sounds like Blink-182. Like everything I wrote was that, you know, but I knew that I could technically do other stuff, but I didn't know how to combine the two things, you know, and start using it. So I started to learn the theory then, so like 2 or 3 years in, and so it meant that I could actually use the stuff I was learning from Van Halen, actually put it in my own solos. So it kind of made me an improviser more than a copier as such. But obviously I try and copy the Van Halen thing because it's popular, and, you know, why not? It's fun. But I'm crap at learning note for note. I can't do it. I just don't have the patience. That if the lick isn't under my fingers, you know, when you just know something without really having to try, I get frustrated pretty quickly, and that happens a lot.
That kind of answers my next question. I was going to ask you a very, like, when you were learning stuff like Run to You, for say, did you learn it with bar chords? You know, it's an F sharp.
Yeah, I couldn't play it. My hands were too small.
Okay, so did you use a capo and play it open like the way Bryan Adams did?
Yeah, I had to. I couldn't do it because the tab I had didn't. Well, I think it was probably lack of understanding on my part, but I hadn't really realised it was a capo. But I remember, and I was trying to learn "Can't Stop This Thing We Started." That intro.
Yeah, that's hard to do. That's really hard to do.
And I couldn't stretch it. You know,
unless you're playing with a capo, it's hard to do that stuff. They use capos on all that stuff. Yeah,
it's amazing. Like that, because Waking Up the Neighbors was the album that really got me into it, and that the solos on that are just amazing. And another one that's a bit off the wall here, not Michael Jackson, but Shania Twain.
I love Shania, by the way.
Yeah, from this moment.
From this moment on, yeah.
That solo.
Yep.
If I've ever heard someone that isn't Keith Scott sound like Keith Scott, it's that solo.
Yeah, reminded me just like it. I mean, they're all the same, you know, the same songwriting.
Yeah, Mutt Lang, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's probably like in my playing, I'm far more melodic than I am technical. I can do the technical stuff. So when I post the silly phone videos of me just noodling, it's all that stuff. But if I actually write a song, it's far more about the melody, and that's what I love about, you know, Keith Scott and whoever that guy is on that song, Shania Twain song. But yeah, just the note choice, just, you know, it gets everyone, doesn't it? Because if you can hit that note, the ultimate note over that chord at that moment, you know, like that's the money shot, isn't it?
Well, that's what I find intriguing about what you said earlier about usually when you ask somebody what made you want to play guitar or that type of thing, or what did you hear, what song, what solo, it's usually something that's like shreddy. You know, Shreddy Van Halen or something. It's usually like Eruption or some Steve Vai stuff where it's just, how the hell is he doing that? But it was a super slow melodic solo. That's what makes you like, oh my God, I want to do that. That's really cool.
Because that's what gives you goosebumps, isn't it? And it's not the and they're a really good, I don't know if you know, but like I'm sure Johnny does because I'm aware of him being a fan, but the Jason Becker song that he doesn't actually play on, but he wrote, End of the Beginning. Do you know that?
I'll have to listen. I'll have to listen to it.
And it's like an orchestral type thing with like lead guitar on it, and it's incredibly melodic. Like most of the song is melody, and then I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes in, he puts in this sweep picking bit, and of course it just blows you away because it's like, wow, that's how to use technique.
Yes,
you know, because then it becomes something. As soon as that technique runs over 10 seconds, you've lost people because it's like, well, it's just lots of notes. Brilliant, you know.
Yeah, but you're right. There's a way to use that stuff. I mean, there's a lot of guitar players out there that it's all this all the time. And look what I can do. I can, you know. But
it's seriously enviable. That's the thing. Like I get thoroughly
for 5 minutes, though, but for 5 minutes. After that, it's like, you know, what's for dinner?
Have you got anything else? Yeah.
No, but you got to pick. In my opinion, you got to pick your spots to put that type of stuff in there. It's the 100%. Melody that makes people hold on. You know, if you want to grab somebody real quick with something really technical, great, but it's the melody that keeps them, you know.
Exactly. And, you know, and you take something fast and it's all about that last note, the note that you land on, where it just, you know, if it's at the end of a solo, it needs to be the best possible note over that chord at that time. And I love all that, you know, and that doesn't mean I do it, but that's kind of my ear has... I practice that a lot to improvise in that way that I'm trying to go in my mind with what would be the biggest note over that particular chord. I don't know if I get that, but you know what I mean? It's like, that's the sound because I don't know. I just think that's far more important and far more musical and I don't know, but at the same point, I'd love to be one of those super technical guys, but I'm in no way like a machine on the guitar. You know, I've got pretty good technique, but
I know what you mean. You want to have that in your bag. You want to be able to pull it out of your bag whenever you want it, but not use it.
And you have to stay on top of it, and that's the thing, and that's why all the practice stuff is me practicing that. You know, but I'd never actually play that really, but you just constantly practice it so you're on the top of your game or at the top of your game. So, yeah, it's cool. It's kind of, I find it interesting, like how it's gone for me in terms of how my music, the way my music sounds, because I think all my songs basically sound the same. They all have that sound. You know, so fairly heavy riffs, but with a nice melody over the top and then a tiny bit of shred in it. And, you know, it's like a formula in a way. Mm-hmm. So it makes songwriting quite easy because, that's what I do. So I'll do that, you know. So you can easily cop out. Like I've ripped myself off, God knows how many times. But
if you're going to rip anybody off, rip yourself off, you know.
Exactly. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued by how my like the Van Halen covers I've done have gone down because I really don't consider myself a very good impersonator because of like the laziness side of it. I don't really want to sit there for hours trying to learn the solo exactly as it is. I can't do that. So it's quicker to get the overall idea of it and then just kind of improvise it for me. But
I think that's the better way to do it. I think you're doing exactly what guys like Edward and that tier of player would expect you to do. You're taking what they've given you and you're taking it somewhere else. You're taking that,
like Van Halen did,
of it, but taking it somewhere else. You're not, and that's respectable. And that's what guys like, Van Halen and Vi and all those guys, that's what they would rather hear. Yeah, they're the pioneers, and you're kind of like using what they've showed you and taking it someplace else. And
and it's far more fun. And the other thing that I think about that is that if you're trying to copy someone note for note, there's no way you can play that with feeling, like genuine feeling, because you're trying to copy someone else's feeling, aren't you? Mm-hmm. So it's
genuine. You're right. Genuine.
What you're putting out is not genuine.
You can do it with feeling, but having like come from the heart, you can't
because you're trying to be
absolutely right.
I think and that's like in my videos, it's always horrific watching my face because what's wrong with him? Jenny's always like, "Oh my God, look at your face! What are you doing?"
That's all right. It's okay. You can be a zombie.
But but that's the thing. Like I totally mean what I'm playing in that moment. I'm in the zone, and that's it. That's the note, and that does that. I'm unaware of it really till I watch it back. But it's pretty embarrassing. But there we go. Not as embarrassing as just standing in a room pretending to rock out on your own with a camera in front of you. That's quite embarrassing too. But yeah.
You can't look at it that way, really, because it's really entertaining, especially for the rest of us. Because what's cool about it is we're all friends with you. We all know you. It's you're reachable. You're obtainable because we all know you.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
But
hold on, Dave. After this show, we're never going to be able to get a hold of him again.
No, no, this is it. But
Dave doesn't return my calls.
That's just because I don't like you.
I don't like either of you. Just pay me a lot of money to be on here, so.
Yes, but hey, Clayton, today is Strat Day, man.
Yeah, look at that. Hey,
Strat. There it is. I can join in. Yes.
Does my fake Strat count? No,
right? It does. This is full of fakery.
Okay. I'll hide the headstock so you can't tell. But then again, it's got a humbucker, so never mind.
And a Floyd.
Oh, that's cool. What is it?
Every guitar you have with a Floyd Rose on it is a -1 guitar.
It's a LTD.
Oh, nice.
It's nothing special at all, but it's a road worn Strat. Cool. I mean, it looks cool. You know what I mean?
Really cool.
But
did you put the Floyd on it?
No, it's a Floyd. It's a special.
Oh, right. Actually,
I have one right over there. I don't know if you could see it. That's going on here, but I haven't done it yet because I'm lazy. But in the relic job alone that they did on this thing,
No, it's cool.
That's worth the money itself. So
I bought a new guitar today.
Did you?
Congratulations. I almost did.
Fantastic. And I obviously I've always wanted a Kramer, and then I haven't really searched for one for ages. And anyway, that's another story. Anyway, so I discovered recently that they make the Kramer Beretta Special, which is ridiculously cheap. So it's the off-white with the slanted pickup, zebra pickup. I guess it's rosewood fingerboard and the black headstock, like the banana headstock with Kramer logo on it. It cost me, this is going to be in pounds, so well, it was £130. That was it, new.
How does that translate?
That's it's under $200.
Really?
Yeah. So it's ridiculously cheap, and I'm going to upgrade it to hell. And I'm really hoping it turns out to be a cool guitar, because like all the reviews of it, you know, like guitarists seem to be like, this is actually a ridiculously good guitar, especially for the money. You know, I realize it's going to be a cheap guitar, but I've always wanted that Kramer body with the slanted pickup and all that. So yeah, I bought one of those today.
Cool.
So I'm really looking forward to doing that. I don't know whether to try and slap a Floyd Rose on it or not, but it would be quite nice to have something that isn't that, because I do have, you know, I'll be in a position of having about 15 guitars that do the same thing but better already. So why try and make another one of those? But I think it's just because these trims just look too small, don't they? They look good on a Strat, but not on a Super Strat.
There's something about them though that just these sound so good for some reason. They really do. They have a sound to them that a Floyd Rose doesn't have.
Doesn't have. No. And how do you have your set up? Can you pull it up or
no?
No, it's
not
just
on
flat.
this one. On the next one that I get, I have a white 50s one coming. This is the 60s. I have a white 50s coming, and I'm going to have that one set up off the body slightly, just so you can do a little bit of flutter, but not.
Yeah, let me try and plug it in, because this one pulls up. It's like a really precise amount, and this was just from the factory. I haven't touched this. I've got the brass block for it, but I've never. Obviously, I have it just here. I've never put it in. I knew I was going to talk about this, so I thought, oh, I better have that to hand. But yeah, it pulls up exactly. So that's it. So it's a full tone.
Yeah, I don't even think I would have mine pull up that much.
No?
I think it's just, I'm going to have it just off the body, just so that you can do a little bit of.
Just do a bit, yeah. No, it's really, it's awesome, and it does the whole flutter thing. Not that I'm going to be able to do it now, but it does. But yeah, I was really impressed with it. But then I got this and I realised I don't really play it much now at all.
Well, it's always good to have it as a tool. Just to have a guitar with 3 single coils as a tool, those things are great to layer guitar with.
Oh, definitely.
Do layering with, that second position, that quacky second position, like the Leonard Skinner type sound for all intents and purposes. That sound alone is
great.
Worth it. It's just worth it.
I have used, like, in my recordings, because stuff can be fairly layered, and like, how you could have a part in a song. Don't know if you can hear this, but that sort of thing where it's arpeggiated, but with normal distortion, and then I'll tend to. Well, I used to. I haven't done it for a while. I'll use a clean guitar in the mix just to bring those notes out, so it has that chimey kind of whatever.
Like you'll double it with the clean guitar.
Yeah, that's it. But you can hardly hear it in the mix as an individual.
It adds a little tiny extra sheen. Yep.
Yeah, and with like the stereo delay panning back and forth, and so yeah, no, it's really useful for that. And the reason I bought it is because I really like the Continuum album by John Mayer. So
how could you not?
Exactly, it's amazing. And so it was bought purely for. I'm going to mess this up because I haven't played this for years. For this. See that anyway. That tone. That was the tone I wanted. So yeah, that's what I wanted. Once I got bored of that, I went back to playing Wolfgangs. Yeah, quite like a high output bridge pickup and a Floyd Rose, please. So,
But you can't do this on a Wolfgang.
That's a great riff.
Can't do that on a Wolfgang.
That tone. Keith Scott is the man for tone. I used to be able to do the Please Forgive Me solo. I used to think that was amazing. But I'm not going to embarrass myself by trying to remember. But yeah. Just that sweet. Oh, it's on the clean sound. What the hell am I doing? Jeez. Yeah, it's a cool sound. So there you go. Boom. Is it time to talk about the strap yet?
Yeah.
Time to talk about what beer you drinking.
What's
Well, I thought, you see, this is a rarity. This doesn't happen ever, but I thought, well, as I'm going to be on TV effectively, I'd put this in a glass.
Foster's.
Foster's, yeah. So I think a lot of people don't like it, do they? But I think I like it because it's quite cheap. So
guitars, you gotta, you know.
Well, exactly. Money's got to go somewhere. So, yeah, and I live right next to what you would call a convenience store. And it is really convenient because it's a 15-second walk from where I live. So don't need to have it stocked up in the fridge. I only have to leave the house and get some, and then it's fine.
That's awesome, isn't it? Years ago, I used to live one door down from a convenience store.
You couldn't be with, well, obviously you can be without it now, but I couldn't be. I can't imagine not having that. So there's no need to do a big shop, you know, like get stocked up because everything's just there.
Mm-hmm. And you can walk over there like at 9 o'clock at night or whatever.
Yeah.
Just throw your jacket on, walk over there, you pick up what you need, come back. You know?
It's exactly what it says it is. It's convenient. So yeah. So Foster's is the answer.
Yeah, ET5150 says, as an Australian, Foster's is terrible.
Yeah, there we go. That is exactly it. Because whenever I've posted videos and there's a Foster's can in the video and someone always slags it off and it's like, I don't care. You know, I like it. But I mean, obviously I'm hoping for some sort of endorsement where they'll send me, you know, I don't know, a case for a week or 2 cases a month. Just, that would be nice. But no, it hasn't happened. So.
Have you tried the green one too?
The green one?
The other one? Isn't there a green can? There's like a huh? No, there's a Foster's there's a green one too, yeah.
Is that Foster's Light maybe?
No, it's like dark. It's like a darker one.
The green one is even darker than the blue one?
I think so.
My God.
ET, is that right?
Talking about the color of the can?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever seen one besides the blue one?
No.
VB, he says VB is the green one, whatever that means.
VB? No, I don't know about this. I've just
Victoria Bitter.
Yeah, it's like a darker one.
Oh, right. What? Oh, right. More like an ale.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't think I'd like that.
Might be more expensive though.
Victorian Bitter. Is that what someone said? I've got my glasses on now, so I can actually read. Yeah. Wow. No, I haven't. Anyway, I'll just stick with the blue one, I think. It's a winner.
So Michael Smith asks, Charlie, talk to us about your amps and your setup, the sounds of in your amps that you like the katana, the sounds of the katana, you know, your stuff. Well, it's just one sound all the time. So I've got it. Yeah, it's just here, by the way. So I have it
on the brown sound, of course, because if it says that, you're going to use that, aren't you? And then I have the gain about 11 o'clock. And then the bass is at 1 o'clock, middles at 10 o'clock, trebles at 2 o'clock, and then presence sort of halfway. And that's it. That's the sound really. And then it has like a built-in boost function, so I'll use that for the solos. So when I played at the NAMM show and used this Boss Katana Artist, I had it set so I could add delay via the pedal and then the boost for the solos, just that extra bit of Kareem. But yeah, that's it. It's really the settings for anything I plug into is that. Because
is that what you're plugged into right now? Is that what you're using?
No, I'm plugged into the Boss drum machine thing. But again, the settings are the same. It's kind of slightly scooped mids, but I do enjoy when I record. So say I record with the drum machine sound, so it's set so the treble's quite high, bass is quite high, and then the middle is sort of scooped. But then in the mix, I'll bring out the middle with the EQ on the on the board, if you like. But it's always low gain because I really hate saturated this sound. So believe it or not, I'm not really a fan of like the EVH amp sound. I don't. It's too for me. I like it to be
buzzsaw.
It is quite, and
that's coming from someone that owns one, And I know what
you think the same.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, unfortunately, if you want to sound like Eddie, you have to have that. But that's not a great sound.
I heard recently that it was because due to like hearing loss on Eddie's part, that his tone has changed over the years, and so he kind of overcompensates for the higher frequencies. So his tone is a bit more than it was before. But that like the early Van Halen tone is really clean, isn't it? Like you watch some of the Diver Downtime bootlegs, and there's hardly any gain on that at all.
Well, you can totally hear like the tone of the wood too. You can hear the guitar. It's not just the amp. You can hear the guitar.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I really like that sound, but at the same point, I love the balance tone. That era, because that sounds amazing. That's super saturated and high gain, but it just
still clean.
Yeah, it's still got that clarity.
It's got something about it. There's something about it that's smooth. It's just the smoothest sound.
Yeah, when you play a chord, you can hear every single note in that chord.
Yeah, you still hear, and that's the thing. So, and also, playing with less gain makes playing the guitar much harder. Not that I find it particularly easy, but you know what I mean. You can be a bit of a fraud if you use lots of gain, because all the legato stuff and all of that, it's gonna just come out whatever. But then when you back it off, you discover that I can't actually do that.
Wow, in reality, suck. What the hell?
Yeah, exactly. and so it makes you a better player to be able to play on a cleaner sound, obviously, because your fingers have to be stronger and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I just and that, because when you start layering guitars, so on my recordings, the proper ones, I mean, I have two guitars either side playing the rhythm, and then in the middle I have like the lead guitar that will go between the riffs and the soloing parts. It will be one thing of that. And if you've got too much gain, it just becomes this wall of noise, and it's like, well, there's no point, because you can't hear what the person's playing. It's just this, So yeah, that kind of that made me reduce the gain, in terms of how much I use. It's, but yeah, it certainly doesn't make playing the guitar any easier. It really highlights what you can't do quite quickly.
So speaking of Boss, have they sent you the Katana Air yet?
No, not yet. No.
I'm thinking about because I spoke to
seems really cool.
Yeah, I know. I spoke to the music store that I get my stuff from, Alto Music in Middletown, New York,
All
And the
right.
guy, this is a couple days ago, the guy told me, I think they were like 2.5 weeks out maybe from getting them, or maybe less. I'm trying to think, because I asked about 2 different products and I'm getting them confused now. Maybe it was less time than that, but they're coming soon, man.
They're well worth. I mean, I got one for one of my students, not one of those, but the Katana 50-watt one speaker kind of combo amp thing, and it was so it was £179, with brand new. So that's what, $240, something like that. It's really cheap, and it sounds amazing. I mean, they all have that sound, and I mean, it's kind of wasted on me in a way, because I just plug mine. It's got like a recording out, and you can. It has this live out air feel, so you can make it sound like it's a speaker pushing out air. You know, it's been mic'd up. So I use that, and I can't really have it loud here because I've got people all around me. So yeah, they're amazing, really. I've never gigged with one, but probably will at some point if I get back in a band again, but I don't know if I will. But yeah, so yeah, can't recommend them more.
Can I ask real quick what Ibanez that is behind you? The white one?
Oh yeah, it's one I put together out of Ibanez parts. Let me get it. Hold on. So it's a RG350DX with a 550 maple neck on it. And I changed the scratch plate from the horrific perloid thing to
white, which is much nicer.
Yeah, it looks like a machine, doesn't it? I love it. So
now it looks like a made in Japan one. Thank God.
Yeah. No, it's cool. So I was really lucky because the neck was a pretty tight fit, but yeah, it's perfect. So
yeah, that looks great, man. That's probably a really great guitar.
Yeah, it's really nice. The action's really low, and it's only got the infinity pickups. But the thing is, it's all right, really, having low output pickups. I have to just crank the gain a bit more, you know, just to bring it back up. But I don't know if any of you have found that with the Stealth that I've got, the pickups they seem lower output. Have you noticed that or not with those?
I don't think they're lower output, but I bet you that they're sunk into the body further. They're farther away from the string.
You think it's that? Because this one is, I don't know if you know about this guitar really, but it's, I'll get it, I might as well. It's a prototype, so it's one of the first 7 made.
Oh, wow.
Of the Stealth. And it's Gerd's, it's not mine, but it's kind of just on indefinite loan, really. But and then he had it FU toned by Adam. But yeah, the pickups are just they're quite weak on it, and I mean they're not really that far away from the strings. I'm trying to get the right angle. It's pretty normal, but yeah, I just find I have to turn the gain up a bit more. For it, but it's probably because it's a prototype. Because I played one of the new ones in the factory, not last time I was in LA, but the time before, and that sounded just like a normal one. But I've had a few people comment, you know, asking if I'd found that with them, like if they are lower output. So yeah, I don't know, but they definitely are on this. So. This is one of the guitars I had to actually adjust my settings so that the gain will go from, say, 4 out of 10 to about 6 out of 10.
Well, if that's a prototype, then that's probably a 2011.
Right, yeah.
And I know for a fact that the skin on that, that's different than what they're using now.
It is, isn't it?
Thicker skin. It's a thicker skin. So that might contribute to it as well.
Yeah. It's an awesome guitar, and like on video, this guitar just looks awesome, doesn't it? It's just like the combination of colors is just amazing.
So Jay, if you were to show yours as well, it's even though they're both Stealths, yours is a smoother surface, They went to a different, in 2012, they went to a different surface, and it's smoother
Oh, I see.
and lighter. It's also lighter. That could be a contributing factor to what Charlie's talking about.
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah. No, it's awesome. And it's signed by Adam on the back. I think it says, "Too good, something, something, something. Too good. My honor. Cheers, Adam." Yeah, that's what it says. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, but you can, oh, there we go. So I have the, it's actually quite far out.
Oh, yeah,
wow.
that's far out. Yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know how long those screws are, but hopefully they haven't popped out yet. So
You've
But
got,
yeah,
a
that
good,
makes it-
you've got a good 3 or 4 more turns left, I think.
you think that's it?
Maybe.
Yeah. So
Three or four more bends before the springs go boing.
hopefully it'll be captured on video, and then I can put some sort of explosion effect over the top, and that'll be my last video where I die because the back of my
Oh my
truck-
gosh.
Yeah. So, bit over the top, but yeah, it probably work. Get some views, might go viral.
Yeah.
So Charlie, Waveform says, I've noticed on my EVH Wolfgang Satin made in Mexico needs more gain. So I feel you maybe just how the black ones sound. Who knows?
Oh, maybe then.
I don't know.
Yeah, because all the others, they sound the same. You plug them in and they have that tone. It's only the Stealth that I've had to increase the gain. So yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's the finish. It's the satin
Yeah.
finish is making the difference.
Could be, couldn't it?
I know for a fact when I owned my Stealth, it sounded different than, say, my Ivory one here.
Oh, really?
Yep. And Pete now owns my Stealth, and he says the same thing, that it sounds different than the rest of his Wolfgangs as well. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think he's got 4 USA Wolfgangs, and that one clearly sounds different than the other 3.
Oh, I see. It is a thing then. Definitely. Yeah. Awesome.
Do you have any non-Floyd guitars? Absolute Mayhem
My
X?
Strat and
Well, I'm sorry, like hardtail guitars.
no.
Okay.
I did have. That's another good answer. I should have just left it there. I did have a Zakk Wylde Epiphone at one point, and it was too heavy. It broke me because obviously I'm very short and thin, and yeah, I did a gig with it, and by the 3rd song, I was like, oh my god. So,
Charlie, you're taller than I am, though, man.
I'm not. We're the same. I don't remember being taller than anyone. So, yeah. No, I would like some sort of hardtail thing, but yeah, it kind of frustrates me that I get the same guitar over and over again in a way, but that's what you like, isn't it? So,
Yeah, that's what you like. Absolutely.
yeah. So you just keep, but you are effectively buying the same guitar again and again, but it's cool. It's just nice to have, isn't it? Because you got options. So yeah. No, it's yeah. I don't think. I mean, I had another Les Paul. Like, remember Ibanez in the 70s did like knockoff Les Pauls and things like that. I think they had a brand called Antoria or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I had one of those, but I didn't know what I got, and I sold it to a student of mine, but now I really wish I hadn't. So it was like the off-white kind of Randy Rhoads style Les Paul, which was actually a really good guitar, and I sold it stupidly. But yeah, so I have had a few. I can't really think. And I had like a Hohner GT3, or one of their Steinberger copies, which obviously I striped.
Mm-hmm.
And all that, but I don't have that anymore. Various Ibanez. I think I've had 3 or 4 Ibanez, but again, they're all locking tremolo. So just stick with what you know. But,
Well, it works for you. I'll tell you that.
yeah, that's it. It's great to have.
I wish I had half the talent you have.
Well, yeah. No, I don't know. I love being able to do what I do, but I find that with my videos, I have to leave them for ages before I watch them back because I don't. All I can do is pick holes in it. It's just relentless. Like, oh god.
I think we're all a bit the same about that. Even when we do these shows, I can't stand watching them a second time because I can't stand to see the side of myself.
And it is the sound, isn't it? It's the sound of your own voice. It's like,
and the things that come out of it.
Yeah. And the faces that go with what you say. Like probably what I just did then will be pretty horrific.
Dave's voice, man. Dave's voice.
No, Charlie, you're definitely right, because I think, I'm sure everybody that's in the chat room that has recorded music or anything like that, or mixed records and stuff, when you hear something that you've done back, you're so critical. You hear every little detail and you're like, oh, I wish I put more delay on this. Or, oh, I wish I fixed that one note. I'm not really sure. You're always second guessing yourself. And when you're working on your own music, it's even worse because you get hypercritical. You second guess every single note.
When I played at NAMM this year, I came away. There was a lot of build up for that for me. It was a big thing, playing in LA and playing on the Boss stage, and wow, it's like amazing, mind blowing for me. And then I really didn't think I played that well. I was really disappointed with how I played because so much of it's improvised. It meant a lot of it was, it was on the spot. I'd learnt the melodic parts, but I was going to be improvising the solos, and there's one of them. Oh my god, I play a right clanger in it. It's like embarrassing. No, it's really bad. It's like beginner bad. But the thing, when you play a bad note and then you think, oh no, and then you hit another one and it's like, oh no.
Yeah, the train's coming off the track now.
It's called falling off the rails. Yep.
Oh god, and I was like, this doesn't happen. I haven't. This doesn't happen, very often, and especially at a gig, it hasn't happened for me. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I hadn't watched. Well, I briefly watched some of the video of it that Mark had done. Mark from Time Talk had recorded it kindly, and and it looked really cool and whatever. But I couldn't bring myself to watch it because I
still watched it.
I watched it the other day. I made myself actually watch it, and I was like, because it's long enough. It's like, what, 6 months is it now? No, it can't be 5 months maybe. But yeah, I'm still too close to it really.
I was about to tell everybody in the chat to go post it on your wall.
It's times like that when you start feeling like that, Charlie, you should look on YouTube and watch an Eric Clapton show and see how many times he flubs notes.
Really?
All the time. All the time. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But
if it's okay for Eric Clapton.
Charlie was standing there by himself. So it's
you know what? That doesn't mean nothing.
It does. I think it does when it's just you standing there. You know what I mean? That one note sticks out even more than if you had like a whole band behind you.
You got no one to laugh it off with.
Yeah, that's right. You can't look at somebody like, yo, man, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that sounded like the bass player.
Yeah. He hit the wrong note, not me.
Yeah, that's the one bit of this song that's actually fusion.
But man, yeah, you sounded great, man. I was there.
I'll go one better. All you got to think about is someone like Kirk Hammett is in Metallica.
Oh, can I do my Kirk Hammett impression?
Whenever Dave's on, this is like an anti-Metallica show.
Okay.
They could have
do
picked
it.
better guitar players than him.
I could go on about this for hours. This is excellent. Right. Kirk Hammett is a truly awful guitarist.
Thank you.
He is. So I can't stand the guy. So he plays like this. Hold on. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
You ready? It's quite intense. That is it, isn't it? That's Kirk Hammett.
He plays like a 15-year-old boy that's having sex for the first time of his life.
The solos would be like 2 seconds long.
His vibrato is just the worst, isn't it?
Are you a Metallica fan at all?
Massive, yeah.
Okay, me too. But the song "Bread Fan," right? The cover, the middle of that song with the whole clean part that happens. His solo in that, it's almost like whoever tuned his guitar tuned it sharp, like a couple cents sharp, and it's like, what? No. I
tell you what happens with him, because it's in the new album as well. Because I love that album, the new one. But I have to, as soon as it gets to the solo, which luckily is like 4 or 5 minutes into a song, I just turn it off. I skip to the next one. But there's bits where he's doing lead and he doesn't put any vibrato on it. So he's playing a note. Yeah. And it's like, so it just starts to grate, doesn't it? It jars with the music.
Yep.
And I mean, the guitar's probably in tune, but I mean, I imagine he's probably pulling it slightly sharp.
Yeah, he probably vice grips the hell out of that neck. He probably frets. He should not have jumbo frets on his guitars.
No, he shouldn't have a guitar, full stop.
Yeah, he should probably quit playing.
I'm watching a video of him, and he's just got a jam on his own, and he's trying to do a solo. And when you're in E or whatever key you're in, it's fairly important to finish on a root note to sound strong, isn't it? So if you're doing a solo in E, you probably any of your licks. That's how to end strong, isn't it? You end on the root note. No, not if you're Kirk Hammett. You end on like the worst possible note in E, which would be an A. Yeah.
If you're taking that to another something, if that's like a trans into another part, then that's whatever. But yeah, you gotta resolve.
Have any of you heard the interview with Reb Beach from Winger, and he talks about Kirk Hammett? Have you heard it?
No, I gotta watch it now.
One of the most fantastic radio interviews ever. He's like, "Oh my God, that guy's terrible." Just gives him, and his vibrato, he's like a beginner.
Wow,
fantastic! Absolute hammering. That's right. I think it's like the Eddie Trunk show or something. It might be anyway. And they tell Reb Beach that Kirk Hammett's been voted blah 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 top metal guitarist or whatever, and he's like, "What? That guy's terrible." And it's just like, it's
incredible.
Someone hears it. I don't know.
But I'm a fan of the new album as well, except for Kirk's solos. I mean, there's some guys like you can just improvise and sound great, but Kirk, he has to, and that's like me too. I can't improvise on guitar. I have to kind of plan every note, whatever.
Yeah, but at least you make it sound good.
Yeah, he said he went in there, didn't rehearse, didn't practice anything, and just let it go. And I'm like, some guys can't do that.
And you can hear it. That's the thing. You can hear
it. Nothing memorable at all. We were talking about melody earlier. There's no melody in those solos.
No,
none.
It's crap. Compared to like the solos on the Black album, where it was really done, like they recorded that thing to death, didn't they?
Yes.
So they got the best they could possibly get. But on this, it's just his part sounds thrown together. It's like, oh, that'll do. But no.
But even the parts that he's worked on forever.
I'm sorry. I gotta say this last thing about Metallica. When you watch the making of the Black album, right? You had Bob Rock, the producer, in there, basically telling him that's not good enough. That's not good enough. We got to do it better. And now when you watch the making of the what's the last album called now?
Crap.
Hardwired to Self-Destruct.
Hardwired to Self-Destruct. When you watch the videos of that, it's just it's great. Everything they're doing. The producer, Greg Fiddleman's, that's great. That's great, guys. That's great. No, it's not. You need somebody in there to kick some ass, man.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, how the Lulu album got past being an idea is amazing.
Lars Ulrich. That's how.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah.
Okay.
That's enough of stuff.
Yeah. Let's talk about a good guitar player now. Charlie.
No.
There you go.
Talk
Any
about
thoughts
another
of doing like a full solo record?
What? Sorry.
Any thoughts or any plans on eventually doing like a?
No. Well, everything everyone's asked, I just said no to. It's quite good. I don't know. It's what it is, if you see what I mean. I'll record a song and I'll make the video to go with it. And as far as I'm concerned, that's it done. You know, and it's already out there. So, you know, and when I found that when I put music, there's 8 songs you can download of mine and pay for.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't, because it's like, well, it's on YouTube and there's a video of me playing it and whatever. So why would you pay for it? You know, and so it kind of put me off doing that. And I mean, I literally have, well, because I've been recording music since I was about 16. So, I mean, it's well over 1,000 songs, but it doesn't mean
1,000 songs.
Oh, comfortably. Yeah, comfortably. This isn't, I'm not talking rubbish. I'm being deadly serious. I've written and recorded. I mean, I can write a song pretty much every day if I want to, but I don't, not anymore anyway. But yeah, it's a load, like, yeah, well over 1,000 songs. So there's loads of stuff, but then I'll always want to write new. So I was, before NAMM, I was thinking, oh, I'm going to put out an EP, you know, just 4 or 5 songs. And I was like, oh, well, I've got this one, I've got this one. And then I got like new drum software to use, so the drums sounded better. So I thought, oh, well, I could like redo the drums for these old ones. And then I thought, no, I'll just write new. And of course, that's the thing. It's this continual, I'll just write something new. You know. So I don't know. I just find like with the selling of music, because I'm kind of well known, but I'm not a famous guitarist as such. So no one's really that bothered. It's like, you know, you get T-shirts made and people are like, yeah, that's cool, but yeah, people don't buy them. And the same with the music, like the downloads I've had, it's really limited because
what about like Spotify or something? Get like on a streaming platform. I think that could really, you know, pay dividends.
I should put it up there, yeah.
You know, even if like you pick, like you said, kind of, even if it's re-recording or redoing the drum. What drum software did you just get?
I'm just using now. I was using the Boss drum machine for most of the recordings, you know, when I was doing all the Van Halen covers and that. But now I'm using the drums within Logic.
Gotcha.
Just MIDI drums, but they sound a bit more authentic. But yeah, no, I mean, I would like to do it, but I don't know. It's kind of easy to get. Like what I found, like if I put on Facebook that I'm going to be doing this and it's going to be available soon, so you'll get like say 60 or 70 likes and a lot of interest for that. And then when it comes to it, obviously Facebook kind of block it because they can see you're trying to sell something.
Yes, and they want that. They want that cut.
Exactly. So it immediately becomes difficult, and it's the same with the Instagram. When I started advertising for guitar lessons and stuff like that, it's like, oh no, he's actually trying to make money here. No one's going to see it. You know. So where a normal post might get say 500-600 likes, a teaching one will struggle to get 100. They cut it that much. So like trying to make money out of it is difficult. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it shouldn't be about money really, but it would be nice if it was, because then I could do it for a living. But yeah, here we go. It's all a bit negative, isn't it? Sorry about that.
You know what you should do the next time you come to the United States is you should maybe book a couple of clinics at like local guitar stores.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think you'd go over really well. I think if you should check out a couple of guitar stores, and you know, if you're going to NAMM in LA, you should probably, especially now that you're hooked up with Boss, You should talk to the people at Boss and say, let's do a clinic. I'll be in LA for this. See if you can get some of your stores to do a Boss clinic, and I'd be happy to do it. And you get paid that way.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, that would be cool. I'd be up for doing it.
So Charlie, I think Dave is going to be your new business manager. Is that what I'm kind of sensing here?
Sounds good to me because I haven't got a clue.
I just think that it's pretty much a no-brainer. You know, you're that good a guitar player, and you know, especially in you know, like places like New York and LA and all the big cities. I think you'd go over very well in the cities that have like bigger guitar stores, like a Guitar Center, or you know, just that type of place. You know, I think
cool.
any place that sells a lot of Boss stuff and Roland stuff, I think that would be the market you should hit.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'd be well up for it. So, yeah, it's kind of weird because I've had a lot of cool things happen, but then it gets to the point where it's like, well, this is great, and like you get sent products and you get to play them and keep them and whatever, but that's effectively your payment for doing the video or whatever, isn't it? And it's that realization of, well, this isn't actually going to make me any money.
Right. Well, you still kind of have to get off your ass a little bit and do a little work to do it. It's not. It's still, you're on the right track. You're definitely on the right track, and you've got the chops, and you've got you've got people interested in you. But you gotta put a little more work into it and call them and say, hey, I'm available to do this. We can make some money. You send me here. I'd be happy to do whatever, blah, blah, blah. And we could, and you should.
That would be cool.
You should be able to monetize that a little bit because you're an awesome player. And I you know, for someone, I mean, I've been playing guitar for a long, long time. And for me to say, you know, for me to watch you and be entertained, that's what it's about. You know, watching your guitar player entertains me, and if it entertains me, it probably will entertain a bunch of people because you know you're a great player. It's really, you know, I'm not just blowing smoke up your rear end. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you how I feel about it. Well,
that's why I think. Sorry, Dave, continue, Dave. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, I made my point. But,
well, I'm just saying, I think that's why, going back to my point before about, you know, getting some original music on like Spotify, because you're not only a great guitar player, like you write your own music and you have songs. So it's not like you're just, I'm this guy that can play these solos.
No,
you're like the full pat or the full bug. You know what I mean? Like the Van Halen thing. It's like,
exactly. You have the ability to actually, you know, the show Storytellers, you know, from MTV, that whole thing. Well, you can basically be a storyteller with your music and the way you play guitar and the way you approach guitar and everything. You're an intelligent dude and you've got the talent. You should be able to do that.
I want to be able to go on Spotify and type in Liquid Charlie. Okay, there's his new album.
Well, the thing is, I've got I downloaded or signed up to DistroKid, so I'm all ready to distribute my music like on all streams or all platforms rather. But I just never got around to it. But it's that thing of always, you know, now I think, oh well, the drums sound better in my modern recordings, so I should, you know, do this and do that, and it's this constant progression at the moment. And but there needs to be that cutoff where it's like, no, that's it. I'll put that out, you know.
Well, there's that thought, and then there's also getting somebody else, like saying, hey, I need somebody else to mix this, getting your stuff to somebody else to do it, and then going from there. But I mean, it depends. Especially I think a lot of solo guitar players, they do a lot of it themselves. But like you said before, the drums, in my opinion, are a huge factor. I hear a lot of these solo guitar records, great playing, but the drums, it's like, oh, it sounds super MIDI and super programmed.
Exactly, yeah, because it is. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what you want to get around.
Yeah, but Charlie, the beauty of what you're doing, this is the beauty behind it. It shows your progression. You don't have to go back and fix everything that you've done. Start new, start fresh. If you have new drum sounds, start using them, and then you can. This is part of how you can talk about, like, and when you're doing these things live, you can discuss how you started with this, and it didn't sound that good, and you've progressed, and you can show all these new things, and you can make it part of whatever show you decide to put on. It's all perfect. It all lines up perfect. You don't have to fix all the back stuff. Just start using it now. And then when you find something better, stop that and then start with something new, and you have something else to talk about. Yeah. It makes sense.
Oh, cool. Well,
it's progression. It's the way you've progressed. It's what's gotten you better, and that's how you make it work.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I hadn't really realized that would be like an interesting thing, but
it's all to us musicians.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we want to know how you started. We want to know how you started and how you and what you've done. We want to know how you progressed from being little Charlie into being Liquid Charlie. I'm as funny as it may sound and as comical as I may be making it, I'm really telling you the truth. I think that you have something that is so
rare,
obtainable. I mean, you can do that. You can do everything that I've suggested and make it work. Because you've got the chops, you've got the talent, you've got people that know you, you've got I mean, no one's going to be an Eddie Van Halen anymore. No one's going to be getting endorsements and free stuff forever. No one is going to be a household name these days.
No, those days are gone. Yeah,
but you certainly can make a living doing this. You can.
I need to talk to you more.
And I think you should. I think your talent is getting wasted by not doing it.
Yeah. Well, it's really kind to say. I don't know what to say to that, but yeah. I enjoy the fact that like making the video part of it documents it and it makes it of that time. So that's what I was doing 2 years ago. I recorded this song and this is what I looked like at that point and this is how I played at that point, and so it's great to be able to document everything on video, and it's always there. It's something that will always be there, hopefully, unless they destroy YouTube. But it's I enjoy it. The thing is, I really enjoy it for myself, and that's the thing. It's like
Well, that's where it starts. That you got to enjoy it for yourself. Absolutely.
And like with the videos, all that did, it meant I could obviously put out videos and learn how to edit video, but it slowed down the songwriting process, because otherwise I'd write, maybe between 5 or 10 songs a week. Because I get on it and I'm in the zone, so I'll just hammer them out. But now it's like, right, I've got one idea, I'm going to work on that. Oh, and then I'll make the video for it. So then that whole thing turns into like a week-long process. So, it's slowed down my creativity, but I really enjoy making the videos and improving at that, because that's a new thing for me, actually editing the videos and all that. So I love the whole package, and it's not about it's amazing getting the reaction from people and people liking it and all that, but really I just love doing it regardless. I'd still be doing it without any of that, so it's just a great hobby to have. I mean, it's more than a hobby, but because you have to work, it becomes your hobby, but
well, I just think you got to make a record. That's my opinion.
You think?
I want to hear it.
That's the answer to it all.
Yep.
But I wouldn't want to do an instrumental record. That's the thing.
No, okay. Well, then there you go then.
with a singer. Well, with my singer, ideally. But yeah, don't know.
Are you guys working on new music?
We're gonna do something this week. We haven't done anything for weeks, but yeah, I mean that was just we used to be in a band together, and we were just a covers band, and it all just it had that sound to it, and it was just fun to take the covers and do what you want with them, and yeah, so we write a lot of songs. We've probably got about 50 songs, I think.
Jesus.
Of our own. Yeah, no, we've done a lot over. That's over about 6 or 7 years. But yeah, there's absolutely loads recorded. I've got so much stuff. But yeah, it's all about the now. It's all about doing something now rather than, oh well, this is what I did 10 years ago. You know. So yeah.
So it's always moving on to the next.
Yeah, that's it.
The next thing, but like Dave was saying, but keeping everything you did, out there, because that's the fun thing. As you attract, new fans, new people looking at you, they'll go back and dig back. They'll want to know everything. I mean, believe me, since we've been doing these kinds of things, I got people digging back, finding stuff, that I did years ago.
Really?
And being like, oh, this is cool. This is the Johnny. I didn't know this was the same guy. Yeah,
that's cool.
I mean, it's like look at your favorite guitar players. It's always cool to dig back and listen to their early.
That's what you want to hear, isn't it? Is that so you can hear the progression? Yeah,
yeah.
And if you need inspiration, that's one thing that'll do it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's awesome to have that. As a thing, you've got it all documented. So. Yeah,
you have a little bit of work to do now.
Yeah, I do.
A little bit of thinking to do, and a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, well, I've kind of lost my way with it a bit this year. I haven't done anywhere near as much as I normally would have, but I'll get back to it. But
again, you still have to pay the bills, so that's understandable. You need a job, so.
And it's not a bad thing to have a break either, because I really hammered it. Like when I was doing the Van Halen covers and all that, I was so excited by everything that was going on. Like Eddie was watching my videos and all these other people were watching them, and it was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. And, and having these guitars sent, and it was all ridiculously exciting. So it was like, oh, another video, and I was working full time as well. But I just, every night, that was what I was doing. And it's tiring, after a while, you're like, wow.
So now the question, this is the big question. Since Eddie, Eddie has been watching you, have you spoken to him?
No, I've never spoken to him, no. I've heard what he thinks about me. But yeah.
Can you share it? Can you share what he thinks about you?
Yeah, probably. Oh God, what did he say? Oh no, it was he thinks I'm a great guitar player, basically. That it was those sort of words, so which is ridiculous. Like,
anything positive like that coming out of his mouth is amazing. That's an amazing thing.
It's crazy, isn't it? But it was funny because I remember I was at work and it was about 3 PM, and I checked my what they called requested messages on Instagram, and that was when George Lopez had messaged me. And George Lopez over here, he's unheard of. Like no one knows who he is. And so I was like, oh, George Lopez, I recognize that name. And he just wrote, he was like, hey, I golf with Van Halen. I showed him your videos. He'd already seen them. What else did he say? Anyway, it's just like, what? And then I remembered, like a couple of days before, there were pictures of him and Eddie on the golf course that had kind of come out. And that was when it happened. But Eddie had already been shown them. I believe he was shown them by Matt Bruck.
Probably.
And it's like, it's mad, but Yeah, that's right. Because when I met George in Guitar Centre, completely randomly this year, and he was telling me about this, you know, the time it happened, and he was like, "Oh, you know," he said, "Come and have a look at this." And Eddie went and had a look. He went, "Oh, that's fucking liquid." It was like, what? How does that happen? You know, I haven't really left this room. You know, and how would you get your videos to Eddie Van Halen? You know, I know it's easier now than ever, but even so, it's madness. It's a complete head trip for me because he's the man. You know, that's who I idolized, and to know that he's watched my stuff and it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But no, I've not actually spoken to him, but he's well aware of me anyway. Put it that way.
Well, I mean, he's got to think that what you've done to his songs is super cool because you know it's not that you've copied verbatim, but you've done this thing to him that you know it's different. You know, the vocal melodies on the guitar, but it sounds like Eddie Van Halen's guitar.
Oh, I see.
That's really cool. You know, that's cool. That's
the fun part for me.
Nobody does that. Nobody does that. Everyone tries to just play his licks, you know, but you've succeeded in making the song sound like Eddie Van Halen's guitar singing to you, singing the song to you.
That's that's the bit I enjoy the most, is working out the melodies, because it really tests you as a guitarist, because you can take a melody and like you can play it like you had a piano in front of you and just play the notes of the melody, you know.
But I'm willing to bet that in Eddie's ears, the way he hears his own songs, he hears them the way you're playing them. Because he doesn't hear the voice, he doesn't hear the vocals, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the vocals. But the actual song, the melody.
Was that him?
No, that's Pete. Pete probably, like, you know, that's probably Pete saying.
Well, Pete thinks he's Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah. But you know, it's again, you know, it's probably how he hears his own music is you know, as a guitar vocal melody thing, and you doing it, and it probably got him right here.
Oh wow! Well, that's amazing. If it did, I really enjoy that side of it. Like, there's the black and blue one was really interesting to try and work out Sammy's part. You know, and like using pinched harmonics to get that sort of sound, and like Somebody Get Me a Doctor was another one, and like the Roth ones, because you know we can all talk about Roth's voice, but there are notes that he hits that sound right, but they don't exist. They're not real notes. They're like, and yet they sound fine.
Yeah,
they work. But so like trying to copy that it's really hard, but it really teaches you so much, and like which guitar's plugged in. So the other thing, like I was saying, like you could easily take a melody and play it. So let's see, you know, this is going to bring it down a touch. So you know Hello by Adele, everyone knows it. So let me work it out. So like the piano version of it will be, oh gee. You could play it like that. Obviously, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But so like that hello part, it's boring, you know, if you play it in that way. So you could slide into the first note and then slide into it again. So it sounds more vocal. So that whole sort of double sliding thing enables you to be able to play two notes in a row, but make them sound vocal, you know. So it's all that sort of stuff you have to experiment with, and to try and get it to actually do the melody justice rather than just playing the notes. So yeah,
that's where you can throw in that a little bar, something
so
like that
too.
It
does the same thing,
yep.
doesn't it? So you're playing the note twice, effectively. Yep. So yeah, no. I mean, I haven't played this since I recorded it, so I don't know. So Black and Blue. So it's Slip and Slide. So you immediately get that, you know, the slide into it. You know, it's just cool stuff, and it's blues, you know. So trying to copy that is really, obviously I've proved that I don't actually know what the hell I'm doing. But you know what I mean? It's fun to do, and you just learn so much from, because they're not guitar lines. That's the joy of it. It's not, although the notes are from like the pentatonic scale or whatever, the way they're put together is not a guitarist, it's a singer, isn't it? So it's different. So you learn a lot from that. Yeah,
there's an interview with Vi that I don't know if it was a year or so ago or two. He was basically talking about like phrasing on solos, and he almost did the same thing you did. Like instead of just playing like anybody, if you're playing this melody, you know, you just do, you know, the single notes. It's like that. There's nothing to that. That's not enjoyable to listen to. And he was basically, you know, the sliding, the bar stuff, you know, bending into notes instead of just going right to it, you know, bending up into it or down, you know, starting high and going low. It's little things like that.
It's giving it a vocal quality. And the thing that means is, you know, when you're trying to do that and you're trying to copy a vocal line, it means you're starting to play what's up here rather than that guitar lick that you've learned for hours, you know. So you go to the set licks. We all do that. We all have licks that we just play as soon as you pick up a guitar. And it's always pentatonic crap, you know, which is fine. So is most of the vocal stuff. It's all pentatonic. But to learn a vocal melody is just getting closer to being able to play what's in your head. So everyone can sing a good guitar solo over a song, because you're not going to sing a wrong note, are you? Not in your head, at least. It may sound out of tune when you do it, but the idea is in tune, and that's how that solo goes, you know. So if you can be able to play that on your instrument, you know, it's a useful thing. But I mean, I'm nowhere near doing that. But when I'm soloing, I am kind of playing what I hear in my head, or trying to get there as close as possible, rather than just, you know, as soon as you put the flash in, then it's like, oh yeah, it's a set lick. You know, I've done this one before. But the rest of it, you know, the melodic part, I'm trying to play what's in my head more than, you know, a set thing that I've done before. So yeah, it's cool. It's a permanent learning curve. So Arthur.
Very cool.
The strap.
The strap. Someone mentioned a strap.
Is it strap time?
It could be. I don't even
know. If we're going to do the strap, we need to do it in the next 5 minutes or so.
Let's do it.
Talk about it for a second. Well, you guys can keep going. I have to split.
Yeah. Well, no,
it's late here.
It's like midnight where Charlie is.
Yeah.
We've been
on almost. It's been 2 hours too. We've been on for 2 hours. So
yeah, and add that on to the 5 hours that you and I did last night.
Jeez, it's like a full-time job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've got this strap, and so this is through the George Lopez connection. And one day I was at work, and he just messaged me asking me what straps I used, because he wanted to get one for his new guitar. I think he just got the Stripe Series one. And I was like, I use the Damasio locking straps, and I sent him a link to it and all that. He's like, "Oh, thanks," and then yeah, he basically volunteered this strap and said he'd send it to me, so he said, "Oh, I'm going to try and get Eddie to sign it next time I see him." And then I was like, "Wow, all right." And you know, I wasn't really sure if it would come off, but it's still amazing that I'm even being thought of, sort of thing. And then I get this random video message that you can only watch once through Instagram. I don't really know how it works. And he's just like, he's in the back of a car and he's waving this strap like at the screen. So I knew that he was going to see Eddie. And yeah, and then he sent me a video of it having been signed and all this by Eddie. So it says Kick-Ass, Liquid, Eddie Van Halen, 2000, whatever it is, 18 or 17? What does it say?
17.
17, yeah. So that's pretty amazing that he felt he could write that. And then obviously George has written his thing on it, the Ching-On thing, which I believe means kick-ass in George Lopez language. That's what he told me it means anyway. And anyway, and then he told me that it's the strap that Eddie was wearing in the
in the video where he's playing Unchained?
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
that strap.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's cool.
So yeah, it's just unreal for me. You know, I can't, I don't know. The fact that Eddie would write Kick-Ass, Liquid, you know, it's like, wow. Liquid isn't my name, but it doesn't matter. It's still like, I don't know. It's mind blowing for me. The whole thing, the last 2 years of all this stuff, just from making videos.
Well, I mean,
crazy.
It's a great. That name works for you because it is exactly what you are, Liquid Charlie. If you listen to the way you play very liquidy.
Yeah,
it's you know.
That's just coincidence, I think.
This is what it is. You know, I think it's a perfect nickname for you.
That's what Eddie calls me, apparently, is Liquid. So.
Oh, I'd legally change my first name to that, man.
So liquid Stinchcombe. Yeah. No, I don't know. Just to be, known in those circles and things like that, it's just like mind blown, really. I still can't comprehend, and so I don't think about it very often. But
it's good to have that head. It's good to be in that head. Your head is perfectly situated on top of your shoulders. It's not like this.
No. No.
It's amazing, and that's great, and that's it's perfect. You're right on the money.
Wow. Well, thank you. Yeah. It's been amazing. I feel like it's all slowed down a bit at the moment, but that's partly because
slow is good. Slow and steady. Always slow and steady.
That's where Nesdal comes in now. 15%.
That's it. Yeah. It's becoming the manager very quickly, which is good. I need management. So
listen, I can't even manage to put my own socks on. No. I am wearing pants though.
Cool. That's good.
What a shame. What a shame.
That's a different thing over here. So yeah. Pants are underwear here. So yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't call trousers pants.
Trouser snake.
Trouser snake.
Why you call it trousers over there?
Trousers, yeah, or just jeans. But
in the south over here, they call them breeches.
Really?
Yep.
Oh. Suddenly you've turned into a woman. What's happened?
Slow and steady.
I throw my voice very well.
It's really good. Oh, wow, you're laughing.
There, Dave.
This is amazing.
My better half inside.
Ah, right.
Cool.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. And it's all really like, because of the Van Halen covers, that was it. That was really like the exposure was just posting Van Halen covers. And it gets generates the correct fan base, you know. Because if you just post originals, you don't. It's hard, isn't it?
Yep.
Hard everywhere.
Even so, I've always thought this was kind of interesting because you look at how bands used to be, and like Van Halen, for instance, they were a covers band, and that's how they got their following. And it's the same thing, and it's the same thing online. You post covers to gain the people that like the music you like, you know, as followers of you. And eventually, it gets to the point where you can put out your own stuff, and it gets a similar kind of reaction. But it takes a long time. I think it's not. It's not overnight, that's for sure. Yeah, no, it's cool. I love it.
Thanks a lot. But if you love doing it, then it's all good.
You just stick with it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So
cool. So I think
I feel like I've been talked about way too much. So we should really talk about something else.
Your hat's starting not to fit. Your head's getting bigger already, man.
Is my head getting bigger? Have you seen?
Oh no! Come on.
Jesus. Look at that.
Must have moved to the third snap.
It's incredible.
I just realized, Charlie, you and Jay kind of have a similar look.
Yeah,
I look like brothers.
I didn't wear my lumberjack shirt, which I would normally wear, so that was lucky because otherwise we would look.
I put on a button-up shirt for you. Lumberjack shirt.
Oh, well, that's what we call them here.
Yeah.
So
are we good?
A little extra in the chops department to you know.
Cool. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. It's after midnight where Charlie is, and I know Dave wants to get out of here.
I'm so sorry. I have.
Yeah. Well, is it a public event you're going to?
Yes.
Yeah. Where is it? What is it?
It's a place called Still Partners, and it's a bar restaurant. It's in a town called Seacliff, which is actually one town over from where I live. And the name of the band is called Channel 29. It's Pete Carucci's band. And our buddy Rob Johnson is going to be there. And a bunch of people are going to be there. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Do you think Pete will be live streaming the show on Facebook?
You know what? He may. I don't know what the Wi-Fi is like over there. For some reason, I remember it being a little shoddy. But he may be streaming it if he can, and if he can, I'll try to as well, and I'll try to put some on the channel.
Cool,
awesome.
Like if a good Van Halen song, or I mean they're all good, but well I usually get the nod, from him when it's something that I should be paying attention to. So.
No chance of a Josephina cover.
Probably not, since they have a vocalist. Oh, I'm sorry. They did have a vocalist for that song. It just wasn't really good.
I watched that Japanese TV.
Yeah. Where Eddie actually snorts to the guy. He actually does one of those things.
That's right. His playing is incredible, and that's totally out of character as well, isn't it? That King Channel stuff, and it's just like not a single mistake.
No, he was on his game,
and it's a hardtail too.
Hardtail, clean guitar,
different tunes.
Sounded like Eddie Van Halen. Sounded just like Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, mind blown, and amazing hair. Always amazing hair.
Yeah. Well, his hair is, when he has hair. Even now, though, it's cut nicely and it's still like
cool. Yeah, he gained a lot of hair after the Smithsonian thing, didn't he? But yeah. No.
Hey, Brian. Brian Davies is in here. He's from the UK as well.
Is he? I haven't seen the chat at all.
I think. Oh yeah. There's been a lot of people, a lot of A lot of good
Oh, wow.
stuff. On the playback of this video, that chat will be burned into the video. So if you rewatch
Oh,
this,
yeah.
you'll be able to read everything. And
I don't know if I'll be able to. No. I've talked way too much to make it enjoyable. But yeah. Jeez. Yeah. No, it's cool though. It's fun to do, isn't it?
yeah. Yes. Cool, man. Cool. Well, great to see you again, man. And it was great seeing you at the NAMM show.
Yeah, that was cool to meet. Yeah.
We posed for a lot of selfies and
Oh, we did, didn't we? Yeah.
remember
I
at
think
the
we
end,
got
the last
fun.
day.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, that was cool.
Adam
You
was
gave me
there.
some pics. I was using them as bass picks for a while when I was recording.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
Awesome, man. Cool. Yeah. So Dave, have a great time tonight.
Thanks. I hate to cut it short, guys, but I got to say goodbye.
Bleh.
Yeah.
See ya.
See you guys later. Charlie, it was great.
Cheers, Dave. Yeah, great to meet you.
Yeah, same here. We'll see you. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, definitely. Take care.
All right, guys. Take care.
See you, Dave. Cool.
Okay, then bye now.
Yeah. Jay,
Show starts now.
Yeah.
that was just the practice run. Liquid. We're starting again. That was, you know how Saturday Night Live does 2 shows? I don't know if you knew that. They do an entire one just for the audience, and they do an entire one for everybody. It's true. It's true. All right, everybody's saying goodbye. Bozique, Brian Davies, Richard, Simon, everybody, Thunder Guru. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Check the links down below in the description. You have Liquid Charlie's Facebook page. And you have a website too, right?
Liquidcharlie.com, which sounds better in American.
Don't you do? Excuse me if I'm wrong, but you do Skype lessons, right?
Skype guitar. I should really be plugging this.
So that's what I'm saying. So if you want to plug that before we get out of here, that'd be awesome.
I do Skype guitar lessons for intermediate to advanced players who want to get a bit better. Preferably people that aren't better than me, because that gets a bit awkward. And I end up having to send them money. So, but yeah, so I do that. I'm pretty reasonably priced. So yeah, that's it.
Cool.
So how to contact you for Skype lessons? What is the email address?
Through Facebook or Instagram. That's probably it. Or no, even through the website. So liquidcharlie.com, which sounds much better. .com. You can actually message me directly through that as well about them. So there's a link to lessons and all that stuff. So if anyone is interested in learning to play like I play, then yeah, that's how to do it.
Cool.
Awesome. I'll make sure to put the link in the description. So
thanks, Johnny.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. Well, hey, great talking to you. And don't hang up. I'm gonna end the stream. Don't hang up yet.
Okay.
And have a great day, everybody. This has been a cool surprise show on a Saturday. A lot of fun. Well, it's still Saturday here, I guess. All right. Everybody take care. Check the links down below. And we'll see you next time. Johnny Beane, johnnybeane.com. Good night.
Bye.